So here we are. So I'm just going to talk about 6 points in 15 minutes. They're sort of points or experiences or flavours, something like that. But firstly, I want to say I didn't go off from the London Buddhist Centre on my white, shining entrepreneurial charger to take the Dharma to Deal or even East Kent. I went for a rest. I went for a rest by the sea in this quiet little town because I'd overdone it a bit at the LBC towards the end, burnt myself out a second time, but I was determined I wasn't going to do it a third time. So I had a glorious year and a half or so in Deal. I was fortunate enough to get a flat in a building on the seafront, and I was going to the beach and writing poetry. I went to Tai Chi classes, had singing lessons, and just enjoying space and time and nature and going on retreats. And it was lovely. But after a year and a half, perhaps to 2 years, can't quite remember, a yearning came again for Sangha. Because I'd lived around the LBC for 9 years and, just Sangha coming out from all directions. And so I thought, well, I've either got to move or see what was there. But something else happened at that point. Sort of with hindsight, something else happened at that point. And this goes to my first point, is to do with getting out of the way. Letting go of self. It's like there was something during that year and a half, sort of like just there was a spaciousness. I'd stopped fixing, controlling, sorting, planning, which I'm very good at, and just open to this space. And there was sort of decisions just seemed to make themselves, or there was a flow that things happened that made me think, oh yeah, I'll give a public talk. And I'll book the nicest room in town at the Royal Hotel on the seafront, and put a few leaflets about the town and told a few friends. Had 40 seats in this room, and I thought maybe a dozen people had come. It was actually 78 people. But there were more. We couldn't get any more in. They only had 40 seats. We got 78 in, and we had to turn quite a few people away. So something else happened that night that was nothing to do with me. Who knows how these things happen, but whether it's super personal force, Dharma, I don't know, but something else happened. There was a magic about that night. There was a magic about the whole run-up to that event. And it's sort of like what I've learnt is that I need to continually drop my anxiety and to trust. And to wait, ask, pray, watch and listen. And then go for it. Something then comes in, and then I can go for it with my fixing, planning, controlling, sorting, which I'm very good at. But I know it's the right thing. And it's really hard. Keep stepping back, and I have to keep remembering that perpetually. So the first point I want to make is get out of the way, let go of myself. And it reminds me of the last line of the poem that Viveka read on Thursday of David White's poem was, I can't remember the exact words, but it's something like, get myself out of the way, then something awesome can happen. It says feet and breath here. Okay. So point 2 is keep it simple, the simple life. So in Deal, East Kent, we don't have a building to upkeep. Front room Dharma. It's not front room now. It was in my flat for the first about 2 years in my lounge, and the shrine was my bedroom. And but now we're Village Hall Dharma. We don't have a charity council or trustees. We're not going to have as long as I'm running it. We run it on Kalyana Mitrata. I run it on friendship and my connections with my friends in the order. So I want to just spread the Dharma. I don't want to get hooked into worldly, material expectations. And I do feel a naughty boy at times. Another just simple thing is, at our classes, you only have Rooibos and soya, nothing else. Point 3. I am not the centre of the universe. I am dispensable. Such a very disheartening insight to my ego. And I'm learning this in a few ways. Or I suppose I'm cultivating it in a few ways, really. Because the first area, there's 2 areas I want to talk about within this point, is about giving others confidence. I've learnt by empowering others allows more Dharma to be disseminated, especially when you're the lone order member for 6 years on your own. So I've encouraged our Mitras, now going for refuge Mitras, you need projects. We don't have a building, so you need projects for people to engage with. So we have a lunchtime class, which is run by 7 of our Going for Refuge Mitras, and I have this sort of training program where they train to do that class. So they just run that class now, and I meet with them once every 7-8 weeks, and we have this class going every week where we have 15 to 20 people getting meditation, teaching, and I don't have to do anything. I can sit home with a cup of tea. So it's sort of like passing it on. At Sangha Night, we've just had an 8-week series of the Noble Eightfold Path, and 8 of the Going for Refuge Mitras have given the talks and run the evenings. 7 of them were fantastic, 1 was a bit dodgy. But it's how we learn, isn't it? And I think it's quite good learning before you become an order member, actually. But anyway, big topic there. Another area of letting go is just delegating, letting go. It's like going beyond myself. I am dispensable. So I've learned to much more easily pass things on. So I've got Rich doing email admin and doing the Buddhist Centre online site. Jan does our Mitra study notes. I've got Philippa who co-leads meditation and Buddhism courses with me now. It's really nice not doing it on my own, actually. And people grow. And I'm not the centre of the universe, and I am dispensable. So secondly in this area is that after 6 years of running the group, a couple of things happened. I just felt, actually, I need a break. Because there was I don't want to overdo it again. So I thought, okay, take a break. It was sort of like I want to stop, look and listen and hear the deeper voices again. Take space. My mum had died the year before, so it did feel like, okay, there's a change of chapter here, what's going on? So, very generously, it always happens. Satyavasin stepped in to take the group on for me for 14 months. And he said that I could come back if I wanted, or if I didn't want to come back, that was fine too. And he just generously ran the group for me for 14 months. So I am dispensable. So the group will go beyond me, which is a very good thing. I did trip myself up a bit in that year. I did buy into a bit of anxiety and fear about the future and try and plan the future and sort it and control it. Again, I woke up again, let go, and then the magic arose once more. But I needed to leave space and have no plan. And then when the magic arose, on one day in March this year, I had an email from Punyamati, and on the same day I had an email from Manidara. They hardly knew each other, and they didn't know they were sending them, that's for sure. Would I be interested in starting a men's community in Deal? Well, that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be living on my own in Deal. That's why I took time out, and I wanted a chapter. So rather magically, these 2 emails came. I put them in touch with each other. The next day they met for lunch, got on very, very well, and I looked online. There's this fantastic house. I can't believe where we're living. It's amazing. We're in this, and they came down on the Friday. We looked at it and we just decided we'd go for it. So we're now in this 4-bed detached house in 1.5 acres of land, overlooking the sea, surrounded by fields. It's how did this happen? Again, something else is going on. So I'm now not the only order member, and I'm not the centre of the universe, and I am dispensable. Point 4. Still with me? Okay, good. So I want to talk about the area of abundance, generosity, and self-worth. It's quite challenging at this particular point where I wanted to ask for people to support me to spread the Dharma in Deal in East Kent. I wanted to do more, but I needed to earn a living. I wanted to come up. I'd been on sickness benefit because I had been quite ill when I first got to Deal, and I wanted to come off benefit and spread the Dharma in Deal and come off benefit. So I had to ask, find the confidence or self-worth to ask the Sangha to do some standing orders to support me to spread the Dharma. And of course, we're not a charity or anything, so they have to pay me, into my bank account. It took me, a long time to write that letter. And I remember the day holding these 50-odd letters in the mouth of the letterbox and thinking, they're going to hate me. But they dropped in. People are generous. People are generous, and I am worth it. So that's really helped my self-worth, and it's helped my abundance, my generosity. We really need to steer clear of a poverty mentality. We still have areas of it. We really need to steer clear of a poverty mentality and don't treat everybody as if they are poor. You can support yourself well spreading the Dharma. The Dharma is the greatest gift, and we have it to give. I can do what I feel most meaningful in life and live well. Point 5. Everything gets seen. Deal's a small town. I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere now. Just people know me. You can't. So ethics and exemplification and how I am really matters, which is a really good condition, of course. I sometimes go shopping in another town. So my actions have more consequences. Everything gets seen. I can't hide. My last point. Welcome everyone equally. Help everyone equally. So you're at the centre or class and people keep pouring in the door. Somebody walks in and I think, oh my God, no. My likes and dislikes, they pour out. So it's like I need to work against my judgmental mind. And everybody has gems. And I can think of numerous people now who walk through our door and I just go to them. I hug everybody and just really warmly welcome them in and try and see who they are. And my word, I've been rewarded with some gifts by who they are. So, welcome everybody equally. It reminds me of yesterday afternoon, of the last stage of the Metta Bhavana. Just go there equally to all. There's one more point in this area, welcome everybody equally, to do with women and men. I do believe in single-sex situations. But I also believe a Dharma practitioner can help anyone, male or female, go for refuge. This is my experience. As we know, the Dharma can transform everyone. So I'm just going to end now. By now, in East Kent, 7 years on, we have 4 order members in East Kent, about to be 5. Tanya Womack gets ordained in September. I just must mention, though, Triratna. Because if nothing else had happened from my 7 years of being in Deal, apart from Triratna, it would have been worthwhile. She came into my living room. Such a shame she's not here. But she came into my living room about 5 years ago, a very frightened, vulnerable person. And to watch her grow over the next sort of 3 years or so, and then she went to finishing school in Sheffield. And if you know her and her health situation, she's such an inspiration. It was worth spreading the Dharma just to her. So, we now have 28 mitras, 12 going for refuge mitras, 3 going for refuge groups, 3 mitra study groups, a Pali study group, 1 chapter, 3, and a men's community, weekly Sangha night, weekly lunchtime class, meditation and Buddhism courses, meditation on the beach every Friday AM from May to October. Festival days, 2 retreat days, no buildings, no loans or money concerns, no formal structure, just KM. And I'm not really sure how it came about.